Hello, my friends. This is Andy coming to you live from Orange County, California. And wow. You can't take 10 seconds off of, watching a podcast, a conservative podcast, a Democrat podcast, whatever, just a couple posts here and there. People are whacked out of their mind. The good news, conservatives aren't. Conservative Christians are focused on the saving of our country and on God. On occasion, we get a little wild and we get a little crazy, right? I do. Hey, Carol, nice to see you. Nice title. Buckle up, Buttercup, because we are in a fight. I'm going to share a video from PBS. If you've not seen it yet, I'm going to share it with you of what the Democrats have planned for Republicans and conservative Christians. Not all Republicans, because some of them are rhinos and some of them are Democrats in sheep's clothing. We have so many. I love how they celebrate. What's her name? Cheney. Shoot, I always forget her first name. She's going to impeach the president. Really? That's like Mittens. That's like Mittens saying, I'm going to impeach the president. Like, who cares? Really? We didn't know that you were going to do that, you idiot. At this point, you got so many rhinos right now that you can't trust. You got so many traitors to the country that it's not shocking that you have a few that are willing to do that. It is the greatest thing. I'm going to show you a video from an attorney from PBS that speaks how Democrats think of you. I have a number of friends I went to high school with. I just have the funniest thing, and I just said this in one of my posts to a Democrat friend of mine who I went to high school with, who said, you like polls so much. Well, how about this poll that everybody in the country hates Donald Trump and everybody thinks he's guilty of treason? Everybody, like, really? Everybody? Have you seen the other poll? I know Rasmussen is a purely conservative Republican outlet, not who has said that he's at 51, if not 52% for approval rating. These people have lost their mind. Whenever it is that somebody agrees with their hey, nice job, Anne. She's found us like 2 days in a row. That is fantastic. I'm glad you are here. I'm so happy. I'm happy that Carol is here. And again, she likes my title, which is Butter Up. Which is Buckle Up, Buttercup. We use that in law enforcement. I'm sure many of you use it in sports analogies that you better buckle up and don't be a snowflake. And, that was one of the things I heard just recently, and I'm sorry, this is squirrel time, that I heard my pastor say that people have told him that his messages, his sermons cause snowflakes to melt. That was one of my favorite statements. And he said that was in the third service of last Sunday's message. That's why I watch all three, because he has little gold nuggets that he has throughout all three of the services that he has. All three of the services where over 3,000 people attend without masks. Yes, in California. We don't care, but we show up every Sunday, 3 services. We have an overflow room. We have an outside area because there's not enough people. There's standing room only in the auditorium. And the third one, he said that somebody mentioned that his sermons are cause snowflakes to melt, which is fantastic. I love that. That's why I follow him. That's why I'm there. That's why I attend the church. He's a great pastor. But where was I? I started off in a whole other subject. Oh, about the idiocy, right? Is that the right word? Idiocy of people that you once thought were smart. Now, I went to high school or you go to college with certain people and you go, wow, those people are actually pretty smart. They get better grades than you sometimes, that kind of stuff. And we all know that street smarts is different than book smarts, right? We know that common sense is way different than book smarts. I worked in patrol with a couple of PhDs, and they usually made the worst decisions. One decision a PhD made as a supervisor to me told me 3 times to back down. And so I had to eventually listen to him. And the person that I was trying to let's see, I'm trying not to call out too much because too much detail will tell you who this guy is. But I had made a decision. I was going to stay in this one position. My position was causing the other person to not end their life. The supervisor with a PhD kept telling me I was wrong. And I'm saying, I am not wrong. I need you to back down. I was 27 at the time, maybe 28. And this guy was somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 something, maybe 50 years old with a PhD, and maybe 2 PhDs. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about it. And he kept telling me, no, and then finally says, I'm ordering you to do X. And so I go, all right, I'll do X. I didn't get 10, not even like 5 seconds into following his order. And the guy offed himself and killed himself. It's in my book. You may want to read more about it, called Falco, Walking with God and a Dog. But that's a guy with 2 PhDs that apparently thought that he knew more than somebody that had common sense and had the feel for the room, had the feel for the incident at hand, and overruled me because he thought he knew more because of his education. We're learning as we go through this madness that the universities is, now I'm getting to my point, right? As we have universities that are teaching our children that we send to those stupid universities, which I am not going to send my children to those universities. The best that I can, I will find an alternative. Even Biola College, as what I'm hearing, has gone completely liberal and woke. And so I'm hearing a lot of bad information in Biola. Biola is a local university. College that is what would we originally called a Christian university, and I'm hearing a lot of not good coming out of Biola. So you can't even trust the Christian universities, colleges. You can't trust certain churches because they're far too woke. We have to be aware of what's going on. People are going to attack us and again, it's simply the lost common sense we have in our country. When I had this friend of mine who said, you like polls, the poll said that, and this was Rasmussen. Who doesn't, I mean, again, every poll, it's hard to believe who are they polling? When are they polling them? What are they asking when they poll them? And there's a lot of different things that you need to understand about a poll, but it's just simply when the poll goes their way, it's the best poll on the planet. And that organization is fantastic. And we love them. And we're going to shower them with praise, and we're going to have a ticker tape parade because they side with us. But the moment that they give you, information that is not in line with what you want them to say, now, they are a horrible organization. Who listens to Rasmussen? Rasmussen they suck. What kind of poll, there's other polls. We're going to listen to CNN's poll. CNN's poll is way better. And you hear this craziness. And so I had this former, or I guess former now, I don't care. I love him and I'm going to pray for him every day. I think he's a fantastic guy. I love that he loves, the type of music he likes and all this kind of stuff. But he gets on, you like polls so much. The polls say that everybody hates Trump. Everybody thinks he should be impeached. Everybody thinks that he killed people on his, after his speech. And I'm not sure who you're talking about. Are you talking about the majority of the country that does not think that? Of course, we absolutely do not agree with anybody that went into the Capitol building. We do not agree with anybody that hurt a police officer. We do not agree with anybody that caused violence. We don't agree with anybody that climbed a wall. The purpose for going there was to stand in front of the Capitol building and possibly raise our voices. That's good. I mean, I know that's horrible. The conservatives raise their voices because apparently the left, the Democrats, they can burn buildings, they can burn federal buildings, they can kill police officers, they can shoot them in the eyes with lasers and blind them. They can do all of these things, but God forbid that a couple of conservatives raise their voices. The idiots that went in, they should all be arrested. The idiots who went and sat inside the chairs inside the office, they all need to be arrested. I don't even know why you're arguing with me. why you think I'm a lunatic? I'm telling you, anybody who did anything other than go there and raise their voices and protest needs to be arrested. That went past the barriers that the police said don't pass these barriers. I've been on the other side of those barriers, and I'm telling you, they should all be arrested. I'm really not sure what you're disagreeing with me on, but absolutely, they should be arrested. And so. It's just really craziness what is happening, and so I'm going to play with you. Oh my gosh, there's going to be another one of those. Oh, I made the greatest dinner tonight. Did I share that? Oh, I haven't shared it yet. I'm going to share it on my personal page. Those of you who haven't seen it, I made a chicken wrap, flour tortillas. You can get this. Flour tortillas. Now, some people don't like mayonnaise, but I'm just going to tell you, you don't have to have mayonnaise. But in this one, we put a little bit of mayonnaise, some iceberg lettuce, stripped down, cleaned, washed, very nice, fresh. It cracked when you put it in there. On top of that, I put some bacon, fried to a crisp. That way, when you bit into it, you didn't have to like yank on it. It was fried to a crisp and put it on top of the lettuce, which was on top of the mayonnaise, on top of the flour tortilla, which was toasted. The tortilla was toasted and made nice and warm. Then I took one of those lemon pepper chickens that you get in a bag, one of those roasted chickens in a bag, the ones you get at the market. I took and I pulled off pieces of that. So listen to this. We got a tortilla, which is toasted, mayonnaise, some lettuce, fresh lettuce. You then place the bacon, and then you place the chicken on top of that. You roll it up into a wrap, put a nice little toothpick in there, serve a little split pea soup with bacon inside the split pea soup. Amazing. You'll see that on my Facebook page. It's amazing. Sorry. If any of you are hungry, it was amazing. All right. So I just want to share that. So we are going to bring up this video. And the reason I titled this Buckle Up Buttercup is because you all need the Republicans, the conservative Christians that still have not gone to the rhino side of things and got caught up in all the rhetoric about what's happened on, after the speech, all the other BS, all the, that you want him, the great president, the best president in our country ever in our history, that you want him impeached, that you want whatever. I don't really care. Impeach him. I don't give a flying F because he is, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Embolden more conservatives to say, what the hell are you doing? What else? Isn't there anything else you should be doing at the time of a transition other than impeaching somebody? And then after they're out of office, you're going to try to pull something you really can't do. You can't impeach a president who's no longer a president, but okay, you go ahead and try to do that. That's okay. You have nothing better to do. We're not paying all of you to do something like take care of the country or anything like that. Don't worry about that all of you are getting paid while many of us are not working because of your stupid decisions. Don't worry about that. Don't worry that you're giving people that never worked in the first place. You're giving them whatever it is, 600, 2,000, 3,000. I don't know what it is. You guys have really not thought any of this through. You guys are all morons. And right now you're going to have a number of rhinos and Democrats who knows why, because you have this wild idea that a number of people want you to impeach. I don't care who wants it because people are stupid. You have a number of people that are stupid that want you to do this thing that makes no sense as to why you are doing it. But go ahead and you do you. And they don't hate the president any longer. Don't get that. And it's not necessarily that I believe they don't want him to get elected 4 years from now, because that's also very unlikely. There's a number of other people that will probably take his place, but whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Again, it doesn't matter. What they're trying to tell you through, pulling off of Twitter, taking conservatives and taking all of their followers off of Facebook and Twitter, ending the canceling out law enforcement websites and platforms on Facebook, canceling them out. 800,000 law enforcement officers from law enforcement press or whatever it was, they were canceled out. Their page was completely taken off of Facebook. What they are trying to tell you is not that they hate the president any longer. They've always hated him. We've always known that. That's not a big deal. But what they do is they hate you. They hate conservatives. They hate conservative Christians in particular. That's at the height of their hatred. And then you got everybody that filters down. Anybody that owns a business that's not an elite, that it didn't side with them, they hate you. If you are a gym and you're looking to help people get better and stronger, they don't like you either. They don't like your middle class restaurants. You've heard them say, "Oh, those of you that go to Olive Garden, those of you that go to the Courtyard by Marriott, you guys are smelly deplorables." Whatever they've said, right? They no longer like you, right? They actually hate you, and I'm going to prove it right now. Here is PBS. This is an attorney that works for PBS, or used to. He got fired because they got caught. He didn't get fired because of what he said. So just forget that narrative too, because you're going to hear that probably from certain people that, well, he got fired. Well, he got fired because he got caught. If he never would have got caught, that they say this stuff inside the office over there at PBS. It's not that what he's saying they don't agree with. They fired him because he got caught, and they felt like they had to do something with what he said. So here we go. I'm gonna play this video. Listen to what he's saying. There's a subtitle, so if you can't hear him, because I think they're in a busy restaurant, and just listen to what he's speaking essentially for how Democrats feel about you and rhinos feel about you. All right, here we go. I'm going to take.
Anyone Biden wins, you go through all the Republican voters and Homeland Security will take the children. How about that? And we'll put them into re-education camps.
Amen.
In these times, which are unique. I mean, it's close to him.
What are we going to do if we don't like you?
Go to the White House and throw Molotov cocktails. These kids who are growing up knowing nothing but Trump, for 4 years, you got to wonder what they're going to be like. Like, are we raising a generation of intolerant, horrible people, horrible kids? Enlightenment camps.
Right.
They're nice. They have Sesame Street characters in the classroom, and they watch PBS all day.
I'm going to go home and watch it.
Dumb. Most people are dumb. It's good to live in a place where people are, educated and know stuff. And can you imagine if you lived in one of these other towns or states where everybody's just stupid? What's great is like COVID is spiking in all the red states right now. So that's great.
Why do you think so?
Because either those people that are come out to vote Trump, just the red states, or a lot of them are sick and dying. PBS has like real news. But CNN doesn't have real news anymore. It's just talking talking about Trump all day long. I can't stand it. I mean, every once in a while I look at Fox News and it makes me want to throw up after 5 minutes. It's all this Joe Biden shit now, all that Joe Biden, scandal, which is all made up. It's all ridiculous. And they are pushing it so hard. It's unbelievable.
So do you guys just ignore it?
Yeah. Wow. Oh, you think he's alone? I'm getting those comments both on my posts, and I get them in private messages. We interviewed Hedy and I. Hedy, I think I saw your name on here. Hedy, hello, Hedy. We were interviewing Leandra Blades, who just got elected to the school board here locally, and the hatred, the hatred for her because she's a Republican. It has nothing to do with whether she went to the Trump rally or not in DC. It really has nothing to do with that. They were looking for an opportunity to say how much they hate her because of who she is, a Republican, conservative Christian. And that is all it's all about. They are hiding behind, I'm really interested to see once President Trump is no longer president, what it is that they're going to focus on besides each other. They're going to start destroying each other. They're going to be cannibals to each other, which is fantastic. But who it is it in the Republican Party that they're going to focus on? Somehow they're still probably going to drag Trump into it from time to time. But it is going to be really interesting to see who it is that they decide to glom onto and focus on to say that person is the leader of the rest of these people, and the rest of these people cannot be trusted. They're hated, and they need to be put in camps, like the gentleman said. The gentleman, whatever he's, I don't even know why I said that. The idiot that said that Republicans need to be put in concentration camps, that the way they need to be re-educated, that DHS needs to be involved and take our children away. You come for my children. I'm looking forward to you coming for my children. That day will be an amazing, spectacular day when you come for my children. I'm looking forward to it. Just go ahead, come for my children. It used to be come for our guns, but now you've threatened my children, and you say, Democrats, you're going to come for my children, and you defend this guy, and this is the guy that represents you. Because if Donald Trump represents me, this attorney represents you. Because you've said the same things. You guys have said the same things in comments. You've said the same things in private messages you sent me, that you speak no differently than this attorney, and you are all Democrats. And I often ask you, I said, would you hire Joe Biden or a person who has similar qualities or lack of qualities? Would you hire him for your business? Well, no. Well, why wouldn't you hire a guy that has dementia, that has been caught plagiarizing content? Why wouldn't you hire a guy like that to run your company? Well, because he's got a little bit of dementia, and he's a plagiarist, and he's been accused of sexual harassment, and he's been accused of racist. Well, you just elect him for president. Well, that's different. Well, why is that different? You wouldn't hire him to run your business. Let me get this straight, Democrat friend. You would not hire a man that you can clearly see has dementia. There's no doubt. I mean, you're crazy if you don't think he has dementia. Okay, let's say that he doesn't. Let's just have fun with that and say that he doesn't. But yeah, he's also been caught plagiarizing a number of speeches and been caught and couldn't run for president when he actually had some cognitive ability, that he was simply just stupid. So let's just say does not have dementia, but yet he's been caught plagiarizing a number of items in his former position. So you can see that you're in the role of hiring a CEO for your company, a big corporation, and you see that that there's reports and it's been validated, and you can see it. There's videos of him actually plagiarizing these speeches. As the person hiring, okay, yeah. What if you had somebody with the stature, let's say, and I don't want to say this about Kamala Harris, but let's just say somebody with the stature of Kamala Harris who said the guy that you're thinking about hiring as CEO is a racist. Okay, he's a plagiarist. And again, I'm not throwing in the dementia. Let's say he doesn't have dementia. Let's just say that he's been a plagiarist. And now let's say that a person of the stature of Kamala Harris, a senator, says that he's racist and she has proof that he's racist. Would you still hire him? Maybe. I don't know. It depends on his other quality. Okay, let's say that you have somebody that comes forward that used to work for him that says that he sexually harassed her. Okay, so he's a plagiarist, he's a racist, and now he has an accusation against him of sexual assault. Now would you hire him? I don't know. It really depends. Okay, he has a crime family. Okay, let's forget it. This is just really stupid. So the answer always is, well, no, I wouldn't hire him to run my business because he has too many things. But yet you would put him in a position of the presidency, and then you would allow him to select a vice president, the ilk of Kamala Harris, who is the one who said that he was a racist and said that, yeah, you should believe the victim, that he's probably a sexual predator. And yet she goes, oh, yes, I'll be vice president. I love you. And you are a leader. You guys are crazy. You guys are nuts. All right. Yeah, come for my family, bro. We'll have some problems, partner. Patna. Yeah, absolutely. The part of sending conservative kids to re-education camps is despicable. Yeah, but that's how they all feel about you. Again, I'm going to have these Democrat friends that they probably aren't going to watch this, but if I put this up at the post, I'll say, well, I don't agree with everything the Democrats do. Did you vote for Biden? Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, I don't even know what to tell you. Did you vote for Gavin? Yes. Well, what? Yes, you do. I know this is a repeat. I know much of this stuff I'm telling you right now. I've said it before, but it has to be repeated because we have new people watching. We have people that are Democrats that possibly watch but don't ever comment, like you guys, that are maybe on the fence and really not trying to decide. Or you have rhinos, people that are teetering between being a true Republican and not a Republican, who are saying, what all these other people. You got Cheney, whatever her name is, Mrs. Cheney or Miss Cheney, saying that she's going to vote for impeachment. Really? You're shocked? Are you shocked? Are you surprised? Oh, Mitt Romney is going to vote for impeachment. Really? You're surprised? You are, but there's big headlines. Republicans are voting for impeachment. Well, no, it's not really Republicans. It's Mitch Romney, not Mitch Romney, whatever his name is, Mr. Mittens Romney. You got Miss, what's her name? A bunch of morons that are doing it. So I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought because my brain went on to a whole nother subject. Yeah, you can't be shocked that there's going to be a few people that are going to do that. And then they're going to try to do it after he's no longer president, which is, how do you impeach a guy from being president who's not president? He's a citizen. Somebody said it perfectly on one of the things I was watching later on today or listening to that said, if they can impeach somebody when they're not president, they can impeach you. If they are successful in impeaching somebody who's a citizen of the United States of America, that means they can impeach somebody who's not. So anybody who's now in the future going to run for president that's on the Republican side, they're going to impeach you. Because if they can impeach you twice before the election, then you can't run for president. But well, if you're not president, exactly. But they are going to try. It has gotten so ridiculous. They've gotten so crazy. They're just nuts with how much they hate Republicans. Again, I have moved on. I remember back in the day when I used to say, you know what, Democrat friends, you voters, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people that are in leadership. I used to be a little bit of a snowflake because I didn't want to really blame all you voters back 6 months ago, a year ago, maybe even I forget when it was, when I wouldn't include you in the voters in with the politicians, because I really thought if I just focused on the politicians that something would change. But then you idiots, you morons, kept voting for the politicians, and at some point you got to say, hey, idiot. Do you not understand who and what you're voting for? Do you not understand when you vote for a Democrat? Do you not understand what it is you're voting for? Dismantling police departments, burning down cities, laws that release child molesters, that reduce their penalties, that release 3,000 convicted criminals who should be in jail in Orange County out of jail. Do you want me to go on? I can just go on to a whole number of things. Do you not understand? So now suddenly I said, we can't mess around. I can't be like some other Republicans who have their head in the sand and who have been quiet and been the silent majority. That's what got us into trouble. And you have to start speaking up and saying, no, all of you, you that vote Democrat, those of you that are in Democratic positions are all evil, non-American, American-hating people that live in our country, and we need to vote you out. You notice that I've never, ever said that we need to burn down your house. You notice that I've never said ever that you need to die. I've never said to assault you. I've never said any of that. But Democrats say it all the time, right? They say, burn down the cities. They're going to continue to assault. Who said that riots have to be peaceful? Who said that, when they're burning down the buildings, that we're going to bail you out? Burn down a couple more buildings. If you get arrested, we'll bail you out. We have never said that. I have never said that. All violence is wrong. All murders are wrong, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat. Taking over federal buildings is wrong. Pulling down statues is wrong. It's all wrong. So don't get on my ass and telling me that I'm telling you that you need to, that there's some violence going to be against Democrats. You guys are just idiots. You guys are just morons. And so you need to stop the stupidity and get a grip, because if not, you need to buckle up, Buttercup, because we're not going to go down fighting, which is the name of this particular video. All right. Renee, my former neighbor in La Mirada, California. Let's not even call names. If you don't feel person is qualified to work for you, how could you even consider hiring him to run your country, period? Exactly. That's my point. I agree, Renee, 100%. And again, I've presented that question to a number of people. Either they don't answer, or they say, well, no, I wouldn't hire him, but for president, it always goes to Trump, right? The president in are currently in power, who's done more for this country, and I know that caused them to go crazy. Well, what do you mean he hasn't done crap he's been at the golf course. Okay, once you go there, once you stop recognizing the reduction in illegal immigration, we now have a great amount of legal immigration, or at least we did before the pandemic. We had to shut things down, but that has been all straightened out. That's suddenly a horrible thing. That our immigration now has a process to it. Wow, what a concept! Wow, that's horrible that we have a process to immigration. That is horrible. He reduced taxes. He had tax cuts. No, we need more taxes. We need more money taken out of our paycheck. In Republican areas, we have less violence in most cases. No, we need more violence like we have in California, Minnesota, New York, Chicago. We need more murders. We need to go up by 30%, by 300%. We need to triple the homicides in our city. We need more homeless in San Francisco and Los Angeles and San Diego. We need more homeless. That's what we want in California. That's what we want in Seattle. That's what we want in Portland. We want more people crapping in the streets and pissing in the streets. That's what we want. That's what we want. Cheer for more of that. All right. So it's so funny that I at some point, like it gets to be about 5 o'clock here Pacific Standard Time, and I'm thinking, man, it's approaching 6, 7 o'clock. Do I have any content? Do I have anything to say to my audience? And I start thinking, you know what? I'm just going to take the night off. I'm going to give them a break. Nobody's interested in listening to me 2 nights in a row. And then I see that Project Veritas video, and it just gets me. It just gets me so fired up. You have a PBS attorney who works for PBS, who essentially speaks for PBS, and he says that he's going to round up our children and put them in concentration camps, that he's going to have DHS take our children from us if we're conservative. Really? Oh, he was just joking. Then why did he get fired? Why did he get fired? And he didn't get fired because he said those things. He got fired because he got on tape saying those things. So get a grip. That's what they talk about at PBS all the time, all of them. Right. And so he didn't get fired because he said them. He got fired because he got caught saying them. And they had to do something to look like they were doing something about what he said. And so don't be too ridiculous when you come to me and tell me that, well, he got fired for it. Well, he got fired because he got caught, which is perfectly fine. They should have fired him, but they still think that way. It's not like the rest of them don't think it that way. This is how Democrats think. I've gotten the same message for people that don't work for PBS. I got messages like that from people I went to high school with that are friends of mine. I got people that have called me Nazi. I have people that have called me. I can just go through all the names. What was I called the other day, Hetty? I was called. Shoot, I forget what it was called. Darn it! I got called all kinds of names, and I was just doing the interview of Leandra. I don't even know if I had my sign up. Did I have my sign up? I might have had my Jesus as my savior and Trump as my president. I might have. I don't remember. But I was merely interviewing Leandra and asking her questions. And I got drug into that I'm a bigot. I was called a bigot. I was just as despicable as the people that were in Washington, D.C. And it went on and on and on. There were hundreds and hundreds of messages, if not 1,000 messages that I received across YouTube, mostly YouTube, but across Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. A fascist bigot. That's what it was. Thank you, Eddie. A fascist bigot. Yeah, that's one of my favorite names. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get that tattooed. No, I'm not. A fascist bigot. Will Biden pass 2,000 stimmy checks? It doesn't matter. Probably. It's one of the dumbest things. I mean, really, where is this money coming from? What about opening up the cities? What Biden should do is now say, you know what, we were kidding. And he would be like, people would love him. Like, open up the businesses, open up the schools, open up the churches, bring things back, open up the movie theaters. Let's go. Let's get business back going. That would be the thing that he should do. But he's too stupid. And the Democrats are too stupid. It's very unlikely that he would do something as smart as opening our country back up for something that has a 99.5, 99.7 recovery rate. All of my family has had COVID-19. I'm sitting here in front of you on a Facebook Live. All of my family has had COVID-19. My fiance has COVID-19. We thought her daughter had COVID-19, but she doesn't. She just didn't feel good. But we're all still here. Right. The likelihood of dying in a car crash on the way to school, on the way to work is almost equal to your chances of dying COVID-19. And so this really just is a stupid, we could just continue with this farce that masks somehow work. You got the states where the mask mandates are the most strict. And that's where you have the most people catching COVID, by the way. So does that, I mean, again, this is the thing I talked about at the very beginning of this whole video, this whole broadcast, is that when you really look at things, that you have the people that are seemingly that you thought were smart at some point in their lives are really beginning to be some of the dumbest people on the planet. Right. You got Fauci, who said masks don't work. And there's studies that say that masks don't work. And then suddenly he's switching over saying, well, masks work. And then what we're going to do is make everybody wear a mask. And then you have the Democratic areas like New York and Los Angeles have these really strict mask mandates where you have to wear a mask everywhere you go. You got to wear a mask. Right. You even have people wearing masks when they're walking on hikes and riding their bicycles and driving their cars. And these are the two areas of our country that have the supposedly highest amount of COVID infections. So if you just look at that, you have Florida and Texas who don't have this huge mask mandate, and maybe another one is South Dakota, maybe doesn't have a mask mandate that's to the strictness of these two other locations. And San Francisco or Florida that has a higher population than New York, and yet their infections and their deaths are well below. But Disneyland's open. I mean, amusement parks overall in Florida are open. The beaches are open. Everything's open. And you have everything open, less mask mandates, and yet fewer people infected and dying from COVID-19 than the areas that have more strict mask mandates and less freedom. Really? Can explain to me why? You're going to say something like, well, the climate's different. Well, the governor and mayor are different. They're whatever. In California, you would think that most people are overall healthy because we get out and walk and go to the gym, or at least we used to. We have a lot of people that eat vegetarian. We have a lot of people that do a lot more in the health industry, probably here in California. Anyway, and still, and with masks, and with the shutdown, and with seemingly no businesses that are supposed to be open, we still have higher infections and higher deaths, I guess. Again, the only reason I say I guess because people are dying of car crashes and they're saying they're dying of COVID-19. So and that's why there's this confusion. But you can't say you're smart and make these allegations also that masks work and then that we need to shut down our country. Even in the cities where you're doing all that, you're seeing an increase, not a decrease. And so you literally have lost your argument. And again, when I ask you, would you hire a guy that has dementia, that has been caught plagiarizing, that has also been accused of being a racist, also been accused of a sexual predator, and would you hire him as an employee? I mean, would you hire him as even the guy that would sweep up the crap in the warehouse? Would you hire him for that? Much less the CEO of your company. And always the answer is no. No, I would not hire him. If I had a guy that had all that going against him and I had another candidate or another possibility that didn't have all those things, of course I would hire the guy that didn't have all those things. Okay, so why'd you put him in the presidency? Why did you do that? Because you're an idiot. That's why you're a moron. And I know that Renee said, no more name calling. I don't know what else am I supposed to do? All right, my friends. Hold the phone, fiance. Yeah. Carl Whitney, dumb fool. She's not calling Carl Whitney a dumb fool. She's calling somebody else a dumb fool. No masks in DC. Also none in November. Interesting. We love our governor here in Florida. Outstanding. Yes, I love him too. I just wish I could move to Florida. I actually if I could. Currently, I would have to talk to Hetty about this, but if I could, I would probably move to Florida. I mean, if it was possible. I got a custody issue with 4 kids and stuff like that. That's the only reason I can't move. And she would move also, but she wants to move somewhere that I don't want to move, right? And so we can't agree on where to move. But Florida, I mean, partly I'm not really a fan of. I like dry heat. I don't like. I don't like sweating all day and taking 3 showers. I love taking showers, but I don't necessarily think I want to take 3 to 4 showers a day in the humidity. But the only time I've been to Florida, there was maybe one time I went when it was completely beautiful, almost California-like. But the other times I've been there, it's been very humid, and I was told I couldn't stand anywhere because ants would crawl up my legs. So you couldn't stand anywhere for a long period of time. You always had to keep on moving because the ants would crawl up my legs. I've been there for a lot of police conferences. I was training a lot of police dogs in Florida, and every time I went, they said, stay away from standing water and stay away from anything that looks like a mound on the ground, because either you're going to get eaten by an alligator or you're going to get swarmed by fire ants. And so those are my, and then you had the humidity. So I'm thinking, I like Florida, but I'm not sure that I could live there all the time. I don't mind visiting it. But that is my experience. Yeah, I knew you were calling. There's no way you were calling Carl a fool. I knew that. Absolutely. Cuomo is a murderer. He's not just a fool. He's a murderer. He murdered tens of thousands of elderly by putting sick people in the nursing homes. Like, who does that? Like, I don't know anybody here. You don't have to be governor, right? You can go to El Pollo Loco and go to one of the people like at the drive-up window. Hey, listen, I want to ask you a question. Let's say you're in charge of a state. I just want to, again, these are great questions you ask people, right? You're in charge of a state. Let's just say that you have older people who, as we know, are susceptible to catching things. Like a cold will kill them sometimes. Just a simple flu or congestion to us may be nothing, but to an older person in their 70s and 90s, it could be devastating. So let's say you have somebody who has a really bad cold. Here are your two choices. A, you put them into a floating hospital that's been created to specifically care for people that have this really bad cold. Or B, you put them into the nursing home with 90-year-old people. What would you do? Hello, El Pollo Loco. Hold on, I got to answer this question. I would say put them into the facility that's best suited away from elderly people. That would be the best place to put them. Really? You wouldn't put them in a nursing home? No, you ask the 18-year-old person at the drive-up window. No, that would be stupid. What moron would put somebody with a really bad cold in a nursing home? Apparently the governor of New York, he would put people with COVID-19 in a nursing home. What a moron. What an idiot. All right. I just made myself laugh. That was really good. I have to make a standalone video on that whole thing. Hello, late to the party. What did I miss? Okay, so I started off with the Project Veritas tape of the attorney from PBS talking about how he was going to put Republican children in. He's actually have not DOJ, Department of Homeland Security. He would have them arrest or take into custody all the children of Republicans, because they're in danger by being parented by conservative Republicans. And so after that, he also said that I think he said Trump is a Nazi. He said that, he was also happy that COVID-19 was getting into the Republican areas and actually making people sick and in some cases killing them. So he was happy about that. So that's the tape I played earlier. And then I went on my normal tirades and repeated myself from other shows. So I think you're all caught up, Amy. Did I miss anything? And then you probably caught, my El Pollo Loco drive-through window question. As a matter of fact, why don't you guys do that? Well, next time you go through a drive-through, say, hey, can you mind if I ask you a question? You have two places. You have a hospital that's meant for the ill, and you have a nursing home with 90-year-old people who are susceptible to even the tiny bit of a bug, and they will die. Where would you put somebody that's sick? In the floating hospital. What are you, stupid? They would look around like, this is right. This is a setup here. Like, of course you would put them in the hospital, but no, you got Cuomo, who writes a book and gets an Emmy. He puts them in a whole nother place. Let's see. I'm going to come visit. Humidity is so good for your skin. Is it really? All right, Deborah, you must be right, because you look fantastic. Miramar Beach, Florida. You get used to it. Better for your skin. Do you get used to the fire ants crawling up your legs if you stand somewhere too long? Do they have fire ants there? That's all in South Florida. Nog the here. Not. I think she means not here. In Northeast Florida. It's like Cali weather. All right. But no fire ants and no alligators or crocodiles. Which ones? What is it in Florida? Is it alligators or crocodiles? I could never keep that straight. I did a scenario once in it was like this little island in the middle of a lake or something. I don't even, like in the marsh or something like that. And I was in charge of helicopter deployments where they would pick a dog up from one location, fly him to another location, drop him off, and then we'd send the dog into the brush. And later on, I found out they say, you know what? We probably shouldn't have done that there because that place is known to have lots of alligators. But we didn't think about that until after we put you through. I had 50 dogs that I flew in on helicopter into this area, and I had to stand in this marsh. Dog after dog. We were lucky that none of the dogs got eaten by either whatever it is, whatever's over there, alligator, crocodile, alligator, didn't get eaten by an alligator. And I didn't get eaten by an alligator. There was my clipboard, with, oh, what's your name? And what's the name of your dog? And what does he do when he bites? And I'm doing we could have got eaten by an alligator in the time that the dog was chasing after these bad guys. And the decoy that was wearing the equipment, he was lucky because he was wearing a bite suit that gets bit. At least he had that on. If he would have got attacked by an alligator, he would have been perfectly fine. But again, it wasn't until I got back to the hotel, they said, well, that probably wasn't the best place to put you, but you're here. And so let's have a beer. And everybody celebrated that we didn't die. So that was fantastic. All right. Last couple questions here. That's all. I already got that one. And she answered my question in regard to alligator. All right, my friends. So I just wanted to share that video. It got me all fired up. I couldn't not come on and talk to all my friends here and visit with you and let you see that video. For those of you that joined late, you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to put it back up and play it one more time at the end, just so y'all can see how much the Democrats hate you. Again, I'm telling you. Oh, you know what I did is I got rid of it. Hold on. Now I got to see if I can bring it back up. I can see if I can find it again. Hold on. Keep talking. Talk amongst yourselves. Write some stuff. Project. There it is. PBS attorney. I'm going to find it. Hold on. I'm going to do this really quick. Go to videos. And I think it was the third one or fourth one. Which one was it that I found? Because some of them actually didn't play the video. Shocking, right? Shocking. Oh, there it is. There at the bottom. I had to scroll all the way. Who scrolls down to the bottom on a search to get a video? You never have to. All right. So I'm gonna bring it back up. Those of you that missed it, here we go. This is important. Listen to what Democrats think about you as a conservative Christian and what should be done to you. And don't tell me that I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm speaking the truth. Oh, here we go. I just got to close off my. Oh, first of all, let me do this. All right, it's coming. Stand by. There's a few clicks now that we have to do. Here we go.
And when Biden wins, we'll go through all the Republican voters and Homeland Security will take the children away. And we'll put them into re-education camps.
Amen.
In these times, which are unique. It's close to him.
What are we going to do if we don't like you?
Go to the White House and throw Molotov cocktails. These kids who are growing up knowing nothing but Trump, for 4 years, you gotta wonder what else they're going to be like. Are we raising a generation of intolerant, horrible people, horrible kids? As Enlightenment camps.
Right.
They're nice. They have Sesame Street characters in the classroom, and they watch PBS all day.
I'm going to go home and watch it.
Dumb. Most people are dumb. It's good to live in a place where people are, educated and know stuff. And can you imagine if you lived in one of these other towns or states where everybody's just stupid? What's great is that COVID is spiking in all the red states right now. So that's great.
Why do you think so?
Because either those people that are coming out to vote, Trump, go to the red states, or a lot of them are sick and dying. PBS has real news. But CNN doesn't have real news anymore. It's just talking heads talking about Trump all day long. I can't stand it. I mean, every once in a while I look at Fox News and it makes me want to throw up after 5 minutes. It's all this Joe Biden shit and all that. Joe Biden, scandal, which is all made up. It's all ridiculous. And they are pushing it so hard. It's unbelievable.
So do you guys just ignore it?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. The way he laughs when he says such despicable things, his lack of humanity is so disturbing. Absolutely. It is that's the thing that got me fired up. You guys would not have seen me except for that attorney, so you blame it on him. But we got to present you with this stuff to let you know how they feel about you. Again, I would love to say that it's exclusively this guy, but I have received the same type of statements from people all over the country in different areas of this country that don't work for PBS that have said the same thing. And so that's how they feel about you. They want to shut down our churches. They have shut down our churches in California and other states, and don't think that we should have the freedom to do that. We don't have the freedom of speech. They're shutting down all of the social platforms. Anybody that speaks conservative, and they're saying, well, you're still on here. Yeah, I know. I'm shocked that I'm still on here. It's not going to stop me. They're not threatening me. If they take me off, they take me off. We have other platforms that we're going to use and continue to fight. So the only thing I want to tell you and remind you, just in case that does happen, is that you need to go to patriotcomms.org. patriotcomms.org. You type that in. If it doesn't work, you're going to put in the W. So put in the www.patriotcomms.org. It should work. In most cases, it does work. But either way, type it in. When you get in there, there's a place to put your email address, and then you hit submit, and then you'll put your name, your first name, and then a password. And what that will do, it will give me your email so that I can contact you, and your name. And then you will also be allowed to be into a community that we have in the platform that's exclusive only to that platform. And nobody else can get in there unless they go through the program of putting in their name and email address, and us making sure that it's somebody that we want in the program. The reason we're doing that is that way, if we get pulled off of social media and I lose my contact with you on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, that I have a means to let you know where to go and what we're doing and what we have planned on either Parler or Tumblr or Rumble. I still have a Tumblr account, but I hardly ever use it. Rumble. And then I'm still trying to decide between some of the other platforms. You got your MeWe and Nub or Hub or Chub. I don't know what it's called. One of those other ones. LinkedIn, I'm not really that active in. I know I should be. I have 2 pages on LinkedIn, but I'm not really active on LinkedIn. I should be more, but I think are just as bad as everybody else. So anyway, put your name and email address in there. We have a couple projects that are in the works right now. And so, but at least get there it's a temporary solution to something that I think was going to happen to all of us that are conservative Christians that are just simply going to fight for this country and our Constitution. All right, so go there, patriotcomms.org. All right, my friends, I love you guys. Thanks for putting up with the shenanigans tonight and listening to that fool from PBS. Again, he is not alone in his feelings. That's how the Democrats feel about us. All right, that's it. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.